Welcome, everyone, to a story filled with romance and emotion, where love and happiness overflow in every moment. Today, we will step into a special evening, where James and Diep celebrate their first wedding anniversary, a year full of love, challenges overcome, and sweet moments. In the warm atmosphere of the home they have built together, James gives Diep her wedding ring again, his hand trembling just like the first time they met, filled with emotion. Together, they hold their son Jack tightly, looking at each other with eyes full of love and gratitude. It's a promise, an eternal commitment, to love, protect, and stand by each other for life. This love is not just in words, but in actions, in those perfect moments. And today, you'll join me in witnessing a beautiful story of gratitude, blessings, and family love. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any romantic moments. And now, let's step into this beautiful love story together. A year had passed since they exchanged vows, promising to build a life full of love together. Today, in the cozy space of their little home, which they had nurtured together, the celebration of their first wedding anniversary took place in peace and happiness. This anniversary was not only an occasion to look back on the journey they had shared, but also a moment to express the deep love and gratitude they both felt for each other. James stood in front of Diep, holding the familiar wedding ring in his hand. He looked into his wife's eyes, where the light of love shone brightly. A feeling he couldn't quite describe welled up inside him as he remembered the first day they met, and all the ups and downs they had gone through together. Today, he was giving the ring back to Diep, but his hand still trembled, as if he couldn't believe he had such an amazing woman by his side. Sweat trickled down his forehead, not out of worry or anxiety, but because of the love, care, and deep appreciation he had for his wife. Diep looked at James, her heart pounding. Although a year had passed, the feeling was still as fresh and sweet as the first day. As she received the ring from James, she felt as if she were living in a beautiful love story. She smiled, her eyes glistening with happiness, and said emotionally, "Thank you for giving me this life of happiness. You are the best person I've ever had, and I know I'm incredibly lucky to be your wife." Diep's sincere words made James choke up. Emotions surged within him, and he could not hold back the tears. These were not tears of sadness or pain, but tears of gratitude, the deep feeling of love and the life they had built together. He gently wiped away Diep's tears, gazing at her lovingly as he said, in a voice full of emotion, "Thank you, Diep. You've given me a complete family, a home, and above all, a little angel. I can't fully express how happy I am to have you and our child by my side." Diep could feel the sincerity in every word he spoke. She needed nothing more than the peace and love he gave her. James' hand still held hers tightly, as if to affirm that he would always be there for her, protecting and caring for her for the rest of their lives. Their love was not just words, it had been nurtured with appreciation, patience, and moments full of emotion like this one. In this moment, nothing was more important than the love and gratitude they had for each other. A year had passed, but this love, the connection between their two hearts, would remain strong and never fade. In the warm space of their little home, James and Diep stood side by side, hand in hand, gazing at each other with the same sweet look they shared on the day they first met. But today, everything felt more special, more profound, as the emotions they had shared over the past year suddenly flared up like a warm flame that would never fade. James pulled Diep into his arms, his hands gently tightening around her as if he wanted to keep her forever, as if he wanted to feel the beat of her heart in this very moment. The warmth spread through her body, and in James's embrace, Diep felt like a bride again, still lost in the sweet love he gave her. James looked at her with eyes full of tenderness, as if he could understand everything in her heart without needing to say a word. Diep's hair fluttered lightly, and her scent gently enveloped him, like a soft melody he wanted to listen to for the rest of his life. "I will always protect you, always be the place you come back to whenever you're tired, the place you can rely on," James whispered into Diep's ear, his voice warm and full of certainty. Those simple words were so profound that they made her heart skip a beat. He wasn't just her husband, but also her protector, her companion for life, someone who would never leave her no matter what challenges they faced. Diep lifted her gaze to James, her eyes filled with tears but her smile still bright. "Thank you for giving me a family, for bringing me the life of happiness I've always dreamed of," she said, her voice choked with emotion. She knew that his love had created this home, the place where each morning she awoke feeling peaceful, the place where her heart would always belong to him. When they both embraced their little son Jack, the moment felt so perfect it was beyond words. Jack looked at his parents, his clear eyes filled with happiness, his lips curled into a sweet smile. The little boy didn't need to say anything, but his gaze seemed to say, "Mom and Dad, I can feel the love between you, and I am happy to be in the midst of these loving arms." The three of them held each other tightly, as if nothing could ever separate them. James looked at Diep, his gaze full of love, as if silently swearing to be with her forever. He knew that for the rest of his life, he would always be the one to protect, care for, and love her and their little son. Under the soft, dim light, in a space filled with love, James and Diep didn't need to say anything more. The embraces, the smiles, and the sparkling eyes spoke everything. They knew that this love would never fade, that it would last forever. James and Diep stood before their close family and friends, their hearts full of emotion. The anniversary was not only a time to reflect on the year that had passed but also a moment to express their deep feelings for each other and for those around them. As they shared a sweet kiss, the presence of their loved ones made the moment even more meaningful. Everyone witnessed this wonderful moment, a silent commitment, a promise to love each other forever. James and Diep looked into each other's eyes, their gazes full of love and gratitude. They held hands tightly, as if affirming that no matter how life changes, their love would never fade. "We thank everyone for always being there, supporting us, and sharing in our joy throughout the past year," James spoke, his voice deep and sincere. "Thank you for being a part of our lives, for helping us become stronger and happier every day." Diep stood beside him, her eyes filled with love and happiness. She smiled, thanking everyone for standing by them through both the difficult times and the joyful moments. As all eyes turned toward him, James' father stood up, his eyes filled with emotion. He looked at James and Diep, his children, and couldn't hide his tears. "Son, you've grown up, you've matured, and you've built a happy family. Honestly, I'm so proud of you," he said, his voice choked with emotion. "But I want to thank Diep, because you've given James a complete family, a wonderful child. I thank you from the bottom of my heart." The heartfelt words from James' father made the atmosphere even more moving. Everyone, whether friends or family, could feel the warmth and respect he had for both James and Diep. His tears couldn't conceal the happiness and fulfillment of a father witnessing his son finding true happiness, with a wonderful wife and a beloved son. With blessings from everyone, James and Diep felt the love of their family, the care of their friends, and the hopes everyone had for them. They knew that in this life, beyond the love between them, the love of their loved ones was the strongest source of motivation to continue walking forward on their journey, with a full and complete family. Though James' father's eyes were filled with tears, he smiled with happiness, as if he had completed his mission as a father, seeing his son have everything beautiful in life.
Bài thơ đồng chí: quê hương anh nước mặn đồng chua, làng tôi nghèo đất cải nên sỏi đá. Anh với tôi đôi người xa lạ, tự phương trời chẳng hẹn quen nhau. Súng bên súng đầu sát bên đầu, đêm rét chung chăn thành đôi tri kỷ. Đồng chí, ruộng nương anh gửi bạn thân cải, gian nhà không mặc kệ gió lung lay. Giếng nước gốc đa nhớ người ra nính, anh với tôi biết từng cơn ớn lạnh. Sốt run người vầng trán ướt mồ hôi, áo anh rách vai, quần tôi có vài mảnh vá. Miệng cười buốt giá, chân không dày, thương nhau tay nắm lấy bàn tay. Đêm nay rừng hoang sương muối, đứng cạnh bên nhau chờ giặc tới, đầu súng trong treo. Bài thơ đồng chí được sáng tác vào đầu năm 1948, sau khi tác giả đã cùng đồng đội tham gia vào chiến đấu trong chiến dịch Việt Bắc Thu Đông năm 1947, đánh bại cuộc tổng tiến công quy mô lớn của giặc Pháp lên chiến khu Việt Bắc. Bài thơ là một trong những tác phẩm tiêu biểu nhất về người lính cách mạng và văn học kháng chiến chống Pháp từ năm 1946 đến năm 1954.